So let's settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And if your feet are down and not crossed underneath you, just have them about hips width apart. And align your shoulders with your hips and your ears with your shoulders. And feel the weight of your pelvis in your seat and the weight of your hands in your lap. And imagine now your spine is a beautiful string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And then go to the crown of the head and release any tension there. Relax your scalp and the forehead and the eyes, back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the back of the tongue, the jaw, your temples. And relax the back of the head and your neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades just to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And bring your attention to the breath, just noticing the sensations of the air as you inhale and exhale. Notice the sensation around the nostrils, the chest cavity, and the belly. Focus on one of those three places. You can use, almost like the breath becomes an anchor, but you need to be able to feel it somewhere. So it could be your object of meditation, and then, focusing on the base of the nose or the tip of the nose or the chest cavity or the belly. And then just, be aware of sound in your environment, any kind of potential distractions, just allow it to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just check in with your mind this evening. How are you doing, in fact? And has your mood fluctuated throughout the day? And if you did notice that, just notice that whatever mood you're in now, whatever emotion you're experiencing now, it's not going to be permanent. So just allowing the thoughts to arise and abide, and then just to let them go. And then you bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, the ones we don't particularly like. And then there's good to know that all these people, these relationships we have are interchangeable. And they're all also equal, just like you and me, in that they want to be happy and they don't want to suffer, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So I think we'll do this practice this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. We start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. So we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience, and we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And so here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine, his methods. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon the beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently, and then in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them particularly, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimbiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, dida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa sawasidi membi yatsa sawa kama me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi membi yatsa sawa kama me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe am vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. Next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan excuse me Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita, dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe om vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kama sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And that includes yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's, it happens as instantaneously as you flicking on a switch in a dark room and the light coming. So the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and then all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and anger, depression, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, resentment, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe, Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely. So imagine the nectar flowing down, pushing out all the negativity of the body, and then the nectar flowing up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and just blasts all of our delusions. And in this way, you're eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mebi yata sawa kamasita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sabasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mempi yatsa sawa kamasita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been resolved. And now we come resolved, removed. Now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's really crucial. This is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without making a decision like this, without this determination or this aspiration to refrain from harming, we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff over and over again, following the same old habit patterns. So think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. You know, like I always say, just keep it simple. Try not to tackle the big things first. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me might not be necessarily the way they actually exist. The way you're perceiving things may not be the way they're actually existing. The conversation you're having with a person may not be what you're perceiving the conversation to be, may not be what it is. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created to all, by doing this practice, to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So then, may you, the most supreme awakened one, the blessed one, the world's guru and teacher, who knows the great Sama's reality, aware of wishes and abilities, reveal to us the great name, chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Usnisa, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation. The wisdom deity called Manjushri, these names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at the start, at their start, middle, and end. All right, everybody. Another day gone. Let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your own teachers to have long, happy, healthy lives. All right. Thanks, everyone. Lots of love. Thank you so much for hosting again, Shayla. I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you.